The farm. When fall comes to the hills, and the evening fills the valley with the sounds of small things, stars wink and dance like fireflies, and the great and the small become indistinguishable in the singular privacy of woods. Then the sky goes red, like the sun behind an eyelid, and I search the ways of my grandfather, covered by autumn's gone in the fallen leaves. My path, too, closes behind me, under these brief wings, but not before I see him once more, watching another moment stretch into eternity, and stars dance in the long grass where dark things move. Giving in. The barn used to be red, but is giving in to the bare woods around, graying like autumn giving in to winter. It's still standing, and so is my grandfather, and giving in is always the hardest thing. Becoming the gift, a home made of every nook, barn swallows and their nests of mud, gray pigeons under the eaves, field mice, the possum hanging in the darkness of the loft, being emptied and reclaimed. Both lean under the weight of a widening sky. My grandfather smiles. The door wedged open for me to slip in and find myself a place. For my only living grandfather. You already know this poem. In it, we are standing near the old Storm Cellar, and our hands smell like gun oil, our breath still heavy with the morning's fried eggs and coffee. Our boots and jeans are wet from the long grass on the hill coming up from the barn, where we've just rummaged the morning away for an old horseshoe you promised I could take home to hang over my door. We look back suddenly, hearing speckled gray pigeons spill from the loft and rise past the clearing on higher up the mountain. We take it as a sign that our luck has been granted anyway. Soon we'll bend both our bad backs together and pry open the old Storm Cellar door and peer into the darkness once before you go on down alone to check one last place to find something I can keep. Breaking the yolks. Grandma struck a match to light the burners of her old white stove, bent apologetically, hefting the cast iron skillet onto blue flames. Each of her eggs a distinct shade of brown. She made 2 plates of toast, one burnt for Father, one hardly melting its butter for Mother, and Brother and I chose then and there our genetic allegiance, burnt or buttered. We all had fried eggs, but I was the one to ask Grandma to break my yolks, fry them hard. She hesitated, fork poised over seamless golden eyes, a shame to blind them, a mistake, perhaps. But then, her skillet had room to accommodate all of us. And she did it. White Christmas. They never have snow in Abilene, so 4 inches dropping wet out of a wide plain sky on the 26th of December is more miracle than ambiance. Grandpa, having slept the night in jeans and boots in his chair, works up a smile as we pack ourselves into the tiny hospital room. They've been expecting us. Grandma, one cheek drooping, stubborn as she forms her greeting. "How are you all?" Her left hand, lying soft, puffy as dough in her lap, is dressed already for the holiday, in her red pantsuit with the Indian head nickel buttons all buttoned and modest, pretending the wheelchair isn't there. "Can you believe this snow today?" Beyond the window, a hastily rolled snowman is lowering his twiggy arms, his face sliding away under the sun. He'll be gone in 30 minutes. My daughters, having given her the picture of themselves and their sleds, are petting Grandma's hand, singing softly, tracing lines to connect the brown spots with the tips of their own tiny fingers, smoothing her rounded shoulders. And Grandpa watches, eyes keener than ours to the subtle changes, her eyes sinking deeper, the 3-second waves of blankness, the growing weight of her frame as he lifts and pulls her into bed, and the fading of something unnameable, something central to her dignity, her integrity, something his granddaughters feel without knowing as they pat and stroke her pale skin. "Therapy time," the nurse intrudes, and Grandma tugs my sleeve as they wheel her by. "Don't work too hard when you go back home," she slurs. "Enjoy your day in the sun." And Grandpa follows them down the hall to make certain, among other things, that the nurses take care with Grandma's buttons.